it's Maria. I am just sitting down in my beautiful summer office. I'm going to make a set of curtains, but I'm going to bleach them first. I'm going to take you along with me. Things you will need for this project is some bleach. Any bleach will work. A container for pouring that bleach, and an old paintbrush of any kind. I am also using these flour sack towels from Target. I think they're $4.99. They are a great purchase for this project. Next thing, just pour some of your bleach into your container and let the fun begin. I am just letting drops of bleach fall from my paintbrush. I'm not doing any sort of a pattern. You can absolutely do that, but for me, I really wanted a very abstract pattern. So I was being a little bit strategic as to where I was dropping those, but not very much. I'm just letting them drop. I'm not shaking my paintbrush too terribly much, mostly because I don't want any bleach to come back on me. So just drop by drop by drop. I am doing this outside, so if you were doing it inside or in a well ventilated area, you would want to have some sort of a plastic covering, a drop cloth, something, but since I'm doing it outside, the rain will come by and dilute anything that is on my back porch, so I wasn't super concerned. For me, it was more about just the convenience of getting it out there and being able to just set it up and do it quickly. As you can see, there are already starting where the drops are, it's already starting to bleach that portion of my fabric. You want to just keep going until you're kind of happy. You don't want to really move things around or pick up and move your fabric until you're kind of at a stopping point. In which case you will even want to wait a little longer, because as you're putting down drops, they're all at a different rate. They're all processing at a different rate. So just keep going. You're just going to want to let your projects sit for a couple minutes until all your bleach spots are a uniform color. They all have kind of hit their quote unquote bleach limit, like that's a real thing. And then you're going to want to pick them all up and take them inside and wash them. So let's get that done. I've just recently started using soap nuts, so I will link those in the description below. But I'm just washing these on a speed wash. Don't make the same mistake I did and only wash what you just bleached. Also throw in the other half, because we're going to go ahead. That package comes with 4 tea towels or flour sacks, and we're going to use all 4. So go ahead and wash all 4 together. It'll help you a ton in the end. Now that your pieces have all been washed, just lay out your one of your sides right side up. Now you could, at this point, if you wanted to, you could iron it, but I'm pretty lazy, so I'm not going to do that. You can just flatten it out. This isn't perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. So just make sure your right sides are up. I also wanted to make sure that my tag sides got sewn together. So I looked for my tags and ripped off one of the two tags. There's more of a papery one that you can just rip right out. So just lay it out flat. Do the same thing to the other corresponding other patterned piece, and kind of get them all nice and flattened out and sides together so that they look like they match. And it always helps if you throw your little pin cushion around, because that's fun. And like I said, just match up your edges and get ready to start pinning. It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of coordination and a little bit of time. So I did kind of start out with putting a couple of preliminary pins in after I had everything nice and flattened out. I went back and moved that first preliminary pin to make sure that the tag was completely secured down. I just wanted to make sure it was sewn in properly. And then I just continued along the way, making sure that I tried to keep the same amount of space between the edge and my pins. Now we're just going to head over to the sewing machine. We're just going to sew a straight line. I am not a great seamstress by any stretch of the imagination, thus the little pink piece of tape over there so I know where my edge is supposed to be. But I am just stopping and starting as I go. There is no need to go super fast. I'm just stopping, taking my pin out, putting my pin away, straightening everything up, and going again. It's not super hard. The only thing you need to make sure that you remember to do is at the very beginning and at the very end, you need to backstitch, which is what I'm doing here. For my machine, I just press a little button and it goes back, and then it comes forward. So it just makes a more secure stitch for your piece. Just trim your little pieces of string and repeat with your other set of curtains. Okay, we are in the home stretch. Now we just need to make the pocket where our rod will go through. This part is about 2 inches. That pocket is how I did that. So just go back to your machine, and we're going to start again with another straight line just as you go. Camera fail. Okay, now we're back. Just a nice straight line, stopping and starting as you go. Again, just making sure everything is nice and straight while you go along that edge. Like I said, this pocket is I just folded over about 2 inches to make the pocket at the top. It really doesn't need to be that big, but that was what I chose to do. And if you wanted to do this with the other piece of fabric, you could on the other side. I knew on my window this portion of the curtain would be bigger or more visible, so that's what I wanted to use the bleach side. Now it's time just to slip your curtains onto the rod. I'm putting quote unquote ugly side or wrong side out. Please excuse the really poor lighting. I did not shoot at the correct time of day, but after I put them up, I really started looking at the bottom and where I would want them to end, because mine were long. So I just stuck a couple of clips and then pinned it until I get around to sewing the edge. which, let's just be honest, I'm pretty lazy, so it might never happen. It might just stay pinned for a long time. I'm really happy with how this turned out in the end. I hope that you decide to do something similar, and please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think and if you tried yourself.